Hi there, it's Aysun, and I'm here to make your coding life easier. All this time, I keep speaking about JavaScript, but who is the real star of the show? It is HTML. Today, I will speak about HTML. Okay, my VS Code is open, and earlier I create an empty folder HTML. In there, I'm creating an index.html file like that. And now in the file, if I make an exclamation mark and hit the enter, VS Code is going to automatically create a boilerplate code for HTML for me. And what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And why it's a markup language? Because HTML gives a structure to the content. And unlike JavaScript, it doesn't add any functionality. Okay, and HTML is made up, a language made up tags. You can see in the boilerplate code, for example, let's look in the head, and this is going to be called as the opening tag for head, and this is the closing tag. Okay, now let's see one by one what they mean. Here on the top, you see the doc type HTML. This stands for HTML5, a version of HTML, latest version of HTML. And this here is the HTML tag. It is the root element of the HTML. And you can see that this is an attribute. We will see what are the attributes, but for now you can think it like an extra information to give some idea to the browser about the page. Okay, and here what I am communicating is the language is going to be English. And then we have the head tag, and in the head you see a meta tag. um, you can anything meta like goes into the meta tag, and you can also see that a meta tag is a single tag, right? Like there is nothing closing, like it's not like the head, and it's single tag. And they are like giving information about the page, the things that you cannot see on the browser, but they are quite important to let browser know what the page is about. And it is also very important for search engine optimization, the meta tags. That's enough to know in the beginning. And then we have the title. When we open this page, the title, what the title is going to be actually. And anything goes into the head, we don't see them in the browser. And anything that will be visible on the page is going to go inside of the body tag. And we have an opening body tag and a closing body tag. Well, just HTML page is going to be enough to create a web page actually. And we can just go and open this in our browser with the live server extension of the VS Code. And I right click and open with live server. Okay. The page is here. And let me put this half like that. Like so. And nothing is there. At the moment, it is completely empty. Well, because the inside of the body tag, there is nothing in there. And if you want to see some content, you must create it inside of the body text. Let's do some text. Hello world. Okay. And now I can see the text over there. And I claimed the HTML gives the structure to the content, and it is a language made up text, but there is nothing around of this text, and I can still see it. That's true. You can just dump here some text and you will be still able to see it, but you will be far from structuring or styling or selecting it with JavaScript. When you go further, you will realize what I mean much better. But for now, just know about that. So now I will create a p tag, which is short for paragraph, and put my text in it. Actually, let me just copy it so you can see the difference. Okay. In this, there is no much of a difference, but once we start adding styles to the text, you will see the difference. But in a minute. Now, we throw some text inside of the p tag, and it looks like just the same. But what is the difference, even if we cannot see it right away, is the one that we throw inside of the p tag, the browser knows that it's a paragraph, it's about paragraph. And big part of the search engine optimization is making your content familiar with the web browsers. Okay. So if you want to create some text, it's better if you put them inside of the paragraph tags. Now I'm going to create an H1 tag. And I will just throw the same text here. Well, suddenly the styling is changed. Well, the H is for header. Now the browser recognizes it as a header, and there is an automatic styling the browser applies to this kind of text. Okay. And the header text starts from 1, goes till 6. H1 is the largest, and we have H2, H3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see the automatic styling is applied to each one of them. By the numbers, browser is aware that the first one is the header number 1 and the other 2, so it decreases the size even more. And you can see it is bold, much different than the paragraph. So the content is already shaped. And what else? We can create a link by HTML. So it's the anchor tag, the A tag. And now we have an attribute here. Again, the href attribute. There you are giving to the browser an idea, someone who clicks on that link, what page they are going to go. Okay. And this page can be an external page on another web page, or it can be another HTML file you will create inside of the folder. Home.html, another HTML file. First, creating my boilerplate code, and now let's go to the body tag and create there a header. Welcome to my page. Okay. Now we need to write the name of the home.html to the href attribute here. Home.html. Okay. Just let's go and click on the hello world, or I want to change it to home actually. Okay, if I click on the home, there it is. I am in the home.html page. Okay, you can do this through anchor tag. And next, images. You might want to add some images to your web page. Content is not all about text. We also have image, right? And image tag is a single tag. It's just the img. Now, in the image tag, of course, we need an image to show, and since the tag itself is not enough to give an idea what is the image, we need another attribute here that will help to the tag. And this attribute in the image files is source, src. And I will just drag an image here from another folder. Okay, and rename it to img.png file. And there in the index.html, all I have to do now, because it is inside of my folder, just write the img.png. img.png. Okay, now you can see the image. But it's quite big. I can add another attribute special for the image tag. That's the width attribute. And just give a hard coded width value like 100 pixels. It's a little bit too small. Let's go by 200. Okay, the image is here. What else you want to add your web page? Well, we might add a list. Matter of fact, the headers you are creating, the links in the headers is through the UL, the unordered list tag. It's good to know it. So we have UL tag like so, and open and close UL tag, and in between we have the li tag, which is for list, and every item you want to add your list is given inside of the li tag. I want you to, in that point, to pay attention to something. Whenever we create a new tag, when it is under another tag, we have the indentation. Okay, in HTML, the elements has a parent-child relationship between them. So the indented element is the child of uh, the outside element. Okay, this is here, for example, the ul is the parent and li is the child of the ul. And this is stands for unordered list. We are going to use them a lot once we start creating landing pages together. Okay, this is the ul and unordered list. What else we want to create in a web page? A button, right? So the button, as you might already guess, is done through the button tag. And there, like, we just give the text, click me, for example. And here it is, the button. Okay. At the moment, it's not functioning, but once we learn JavaScript, we will learn how to, once you learn JavaScript, you will learn how to navigate those buttons. And the other important tag is the division, the div tag. You won't see necessarily anything if I just create a div tag like that. It has also an opening and closing tags. And if you throw some text in there, then this text is going to be the div tag, and it will be visible. Actually, let me open the developer tools. I right click, inspect. I want to put this bar next here. You will see the exact HTML file in there as well, right? And you can see the text and the div. And we said that the div is coming from division. You can think it like it's much more related to the layout than giving a structure at the moment to the page. Once we start using CSS as well with the HTML, you will understand much better what the div is about. But for now, you can think it like a box. And inside of that box, you put the page elements you want to see together. For example, you might creating the header, the menu, and there in the header you will have your logo, and then you will have your drop down and a button maybe. All these guys are gonna be together, right? So you want to create a div and throw all of them inside of this div. And how many nested divs you are going to create, it depends on the layout you are creating. Okay, so that's it. Now you know all the most important tags in HTML. And in the next lecture, I will show you how to style them.